Hello everyone, this is Varun Grover, mentor at Career Launcher. Today I'm elated to welcome Shaan Chaturvedi. Shaan is from Delhi. He has studied at GD Goenka Public School. He scored 92 percentage marks in CBSE board examination, and in the recently held CUET examination, he has performed absolutely well. Okay, he has performed really well. He scored perfect 100 percentile in English, 99.88 percentile in political science, and 99.73 percentile in economics. Shan has secured admission at a very prestigious college in Delhi University, that is Kirori Mal College, for BA honors in economics. So, Shan, a very warm welcome to you and heartiest congratulations to you and to your family.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Right. So, Shan, tell me one thing. Tell us about your overall CUVT journey. Like, how did you plan it out? How did you manage to both basically board examination preparation and at the same time CUVT? आपने दोनों को कैसे balance किया था? Because you are also from CBSE board, CBSE board, तो आपने दोनों को balance कैसे किया?
Sir, my CUET preparation started just 2 days after I got my class 11th report card. I joined the Career Launcher CUET 2026 batch, boards plus CUET batch. And I think they counseled me, they told me about the entire syllabus. At that time, I was not very knowledgeable about the syllabus as well. I just thought that whatever is there in class 12, that will be there in CUET. And sir, if I talk about my overall preparation, sir, for the theoretical subjects, for economics and political science, sir, the one thing that actually sustained me, the one thing that has brought me here, I think that is reading of the NCRT again and again, meticulously over time and line by line. Every word, every box, every image is very, very important in the NCRT. As Amitendra sir from the Career Launcher, he says that uh, NCRT is the Bible in when CUET, as far as CUET is concerned. Sir, I totally believe that. I think reading was a very important part, especially in theoretical subjects. And sir, another very important component was taking active participation in the discussions that happen in class. So, like we used to discuss in the political science class. And sir, because this year I saw in both economics and political science many application based, many critical thinking based questions that require us to actually put forward which could not have been solved if we did not have critical thinking. And that is only possible when we take part in discussions, when we are, because it helps us to not just learn the NCRT better, but it takes us beyond that. It helps us to develop that critical thinking, which I think is very, very important in especially in view of the questions that I saw this year. Sir, for practice-based subjects like mathematics, sir, I believe PYQs are the main. Uh, I think they are the key to the preparation. The pattern was the same. Pattern more or less remains the same in the CUET, but this year the maths paper was extraordinarily lengthy. So I think time management is something that is very, very important. So that is something that can only be achieved by mocks. We have to increase our speed in mathematics. NCRT is important, of course, but PYQs and mocks, I think these two things are the most important part for mathematics preparation. So for English, I was very daunted initially because there is no clear-cut syllabus as to, and not exactly, we do not even know the type of questions that might appear in the CUET. It's very unpredictable. So I think the most important part is solving the workbook that I got from Career Launcher. And on the weekends, we used to have the class for English. So I think that went on throughout the year. Then once boards is over, I started solving mocks for every subject, at least 4 mocks a day for every subject, and mostly in English. I solved the most amount of mocks for English, and I think we think that vocabulary building. So even though it is said that we should read newspapers, we should read books, but children are not able to find time to read their own textbooks. How will they find the time to read books and newspapers at the time? So I believe that practicing mocks can help us build our vocabulary as well. Practicing mocks is the best way for any subject in CUET. That is, like, I think, the main key thing for an aspirant to do.
Very good. You have covered so many aspects in this answer as well. You've spoken about so many things, and you were earlier saying that you were scared about English, and you ended up scoring perfect score in English. That is 100 percentile. It's a remarkable achievement. So, and
Thank you,
very
sir.
good that mocks have helped you in this manner. And yes, as you have earlier said, that in the recently held CUT examination, as I also have observed, they have raised the level. So the critical thinking is now a necessity. Okay, and Professor Gurudete, I also can vouch for that, that you have been a very attentive student. You have been participating in all the geopolitical discussions that we were having in during the class. And yes, very good. I'm very glad that all those discussions also helped you and other students in the real examination. Okay.
Thank you,
Now
sir.
tell me, yes. Now tell me, Shaan, one thing. Once the board examination got over, okay, तब हमारे पास वो सिर्फ एक महीना रह जाता है. We have that 1 month only where we have to focus entirely on the CUT examination. Then after your board examination got over, what changes did you make in your preparation? कुछ आपने ऐसे tweaking करी थी? What was your strategy for that specific 1 month?
So, there were three things fundamentally different about my board preparation and after board preparation. So, first of all, when the entire focus shifts on the CUET, obviously we have all the time. Sir, I started giving time to specific reading of the special boxes, the blue boxes, the extra boxes in the NCRT, especially in political science, because there were a lot of timeline-based questions. There were a lot of questions, facts that earlier, even at the time I was giving the board, I did not know about those things because I had not paid so much attention to the boxes. But in the CUET, from the boxes, I think the most amount of questions were asked both in political science and in economics. So I devoted extra time to reading those special facts, and it paid off in the best way possible. Sir, in economics, microeconomics is a part of class 11th. So I covered a majority of microeconomics after the board examination was over. For mathematics, and sir, across all subjects, the second thing that I did was I increased the number of mocks that I solved. And instead of just blindly solving mocks, or what I started to do is I started identifying the weak areas, the type of questions that I was losing marks in, the chapters that I was losing marks in. Every day, at the end of the day, I used to mentally make a list of all the things that are my weak areas. And in the morning, I used to revise them from the NCRT. For mathematics, I used to practice them from the NCRT, and then I used to give the mock, and consistently it improves. So, sir, I think the third most important thing, sir, that I believe is that blind revision cannot get us anywhere. I believe, and or blindly solving mocks, because a lot of students do that. They prepare for boards and then they feel they will solve for 1 month, they will solve just mocks and it will be fine. They will be able to achieve a very good rank in CVT, but that is not the case. I believe we have to keep a very analytical view of the mocks. We do not have to just solve mocks and move on, that we are solving on mock and we are moving on. We have to see wherever our marks have been cut, even if 1 mark have been cut, or even if we stopped for a second at a particular question, we have to see and we have to ask ourselves honestly, why are we stopping, and we have to solve it. That is something that I did which helped me a lot.
Again, I can vouch for the same thing for you. What you are speaking right now, while I was also teaching, you are amongst those students who have attempted all the mocks. So now you're, that's what I keep on telling the student during the classes also, that how it is important to attempt those mocks because it gives you real perspective. And this is how it has helped you to score such well. Okay, now tell me one thing. You have already spoken about career launcher in the first question, in the second question as well. You have spoken about career launcher, the importance of mocks. So overall, how do you basically, what do you think about career launchers help in your overall journey? Okay, how did career launcher help you, and what was the biggest impact? Although you have spoken a lot about mocks, but even then, if you can again repeat that, what do you think? What was the biggest impact the mocks had on your in your preparation? Career launcher
So
as well as the
career, yes, sir. So career launcher is like the cornerstone of my entire CVT preparation. Uh, I had a senior who did from career launcher. She also got into a very good college, and she guided me to get the online batch for career launcher. And sir, the mocks, the teachers, the classes, everything in Career Launcher, it gave me the confidence because I was not so sure of myself. But Career Launcher made me confident that I could get admission in the North Campus of DU, despite the vast competition that is there in the country. And sir, I think I admire a lot of things about Career Launcher as an organization, but two things that stood out for me particularly. So first of all, the faculty, the teachers that were there, Sushma ma'am, Vaishali ma'am, so you were there. Sir, all the teachers, they are such professionals. Uh, they have such a meticulous eye for identifying questions, at predicting questions that could appear in the examinations. So because I have seen the slides that we used to get, the notes that we used to get, the overall comprehensive revision that we used to do after boards, the 1 month of the rigorous classes that we did. So that came into the examination. That is something that I can vouch for, because I had heard that Career Launcher makes its mocks, especially for CAT and for CUET, which are tailored specifically for those examinations. And many of the questions, they are on the same pattern. Sir, I actually witnessed that firsthand, and I feel the teachers, they did a very, very remarkable job. And the second thing, sir, that I admired so much about this organization is the organizational strength. The syllabus was finished at a in a very timely manner on all the stages, at all the stages of preparation, at all the stages of registering. Also, we used to have the counseling classes. We During the class also, we used to have discussions with the teachers about which colleges. Constant support from the team through via Telegram, also via the Meet, also during the classes also. So, sir, I feel it was a very organized way, because I think in CVT that is something most other people lack. They do not have an organization. They do not consider it to be a proper competitive examination. They consider it to be an extension of boards, which is why uh, they are not able to tailor a program which actually caters to the students who are taking it very seriously, who want to get into DU. So I think, sir, Career Launcher has, like, it has got that formula. It has hit it right. It knows exactly what to do in order to get the students into the top colleges, which it has done.
Thank you. Thank you very much from the side of Career Launcher. I can say thank you very much, Shaan, for recognizing our efforts, how much hard we have been working for you students only. So thank you very much. Okay, now tell me one thing, Shaan. Now you have chosen economics at Kirori Mal College, which is actually one of the very competitive seats in Delhi University for commerce stream students. So specifically talking about economics, what drew you to economics and how did that drive your preparation?
Sir, I have always been a very ardent student of economics, and I feel my mother is a banker actually. So, sir, I think that is also a very big impact. I have seen my mother working with these figures, and my entire life, I have seen and I have very closely followed the economic condition of the country, the economic condition of the international economic condition as well. And sir, I feel like economics is a program with unlimited scope. I believe in every aspect of administration, in every aspect in companies, whether it is corporate, whether it is government. I think whether it is public policy, economics is very, very important. And sir, that is why I wanted to pursue economics.
Okay. So are you also thinking future in this field only?
Yes, sir. I want to pursue a future in economics as well. And
Okay.
sir, my future, I see it in the civil services. Uh, but yeah, that is something that I want to pursue with economics. And
I'm wishing you all the best for that.
thank you, sir.
Okay. Now I'll talk about a very special thing that you have achieved. That is 100 percentile in English. So behind her, specifically talking about English, there is a story behind it. So was there a moment in the whole preparation, although you've spoken in bits about that, so was there a moment in this journey when you were feeling that there is uncertainty, when you were feeling low, okay, and what got you through it?
Sir, I believe that period from December to the end of January, when the pre-boards are happening, I think that is one moment that the CUT preparation comes to a complete halt. Sir, once you come back from that and you have to start preparing again and you start giving the mocks again, sir, all other three subjects for mathematics, economics, and political science, I gave them in my boards as well. So I was quite familiar with those. But for English specifically, sir, I had lost the touch. I had the number of mocks that I was solving every day. So out of 250, I was getting 180, 190, or around 150 marks also. So I got very demoralized at that particular point of time. But sir, I think when I joined the classes, Career Launcher, every day we used to have the class after board examination. Sir, I used to see the teachers coming up every day with new slides, new notes, with PYQs, wherever they could find, whatever source they could find, whatever they thought was relevant. They taught us in class. So you prepared the notes that was uploaded on our portals as well. And sir, when I see that the teachers are doing this, they believe, such experienced people, they believe that we can get into the Delhi University, and they still believe, and they are working so hard for it. So that motivated me to reciprocate the same. So that really got me through that slump, that really got me through that period. And that motivated me to sit down every day to solve every mock, regardless of whatever marks I was getting. I kept identifying my weak areas. Every day I kept on attending the classes. And I think, sir, those classes used to be my beacon of light. I used to join every day, not just to like learn, not just for the academics, but I think for the motivation as well, for the discussions that we used to have. And it used to have a huge impact on my mental state. It used to have a very moralizing effect on me. And that got me through it, sir. That got me through the nerves as well, and it gave me the confidence that even though right now I'm not scoring that good in mocks, but if I just keep on doing whatever the teachers are telling me, then I will be able to reach there. And finally, I did by God's grace.
Very good. I'm so glad that you are calling our classes to be beacon of light, which has actually helped you in your preparation journey. Very nice. And one more thing that you have identified, that you are not only focusing on the numbers of marks that you were attempting, you were focusing on the weak areas which you were identifying through those marks, and then you have started working on that. So that's a very, very important strategy that other students should look forward to. Okay, one last question, Shaan. Now you've gotten into B.Honors Economics in very prestigious college in our country, Kirori Mal. So now tell me one advice for every student who are starting their CUET journey for the next year. So what do you wish someone had told you on day one itself? What is that
Sir,
thing?
Sir, I think the most important thing is that, sir, CUET papers, all subjects, sir, 97, 98% of the paper is doable. It is something that if you're a good student, if you study the NCRT on a daily basis, that you will be able to do it. So, sir, I believe that it is very important that you solidify those marks. Like if it is 250 marks, solidify the 240 marks that you get. Solidify in the mock, solidify that you are getting consistently, you are scoring above 200, you are scoring 230, 240. And I think, sir, that is very, very important. It is not, CUET is not an examination where you, because, sir, even I studied, I read every line of the NCRT, every book, all the subjects. But, sir, there were questions where I had to stop, there were questions where I had to think. It does not come automatically. So, sir, it is very important that the high scoring subjects that are there, the high scoring topics that are there, we identify them and we study them well. That anywhere from any of these topics, if a question was to come, then we will be able to answer it. So, for example, I want to give a small example. Sir, in political science, the crisis of democratic order is a very, very important chapter. The last chapter, the recent developments in Indian politics, it is also a very important chapter. So, sir, towards the end, I realized that from the PYQs as well, and before me, the children, the students who had given the shift, they also told me that these questions, they are very, very important. That these chapters, they are getting the highest weightage in the paper. So, sir, I prepared them more than the other papers. I feel at that time it is very, very critical for us to identify and for us to filter what we are studying. If we don't do that, so then we are wasting our time. If we are studying it in the way of boards, that everything we have to write, because, sir, CUET is not about subjective answers. In boards, this is a myth that we'll perform good in boards, so we'll be able to perform good in CUET. In boards, we get marks for our handwriting, for our presentation as well. But in CUET, we require precision, we require elimination skills, we require critical thinking also, and that too in a time bound manner, which is not built in a day or two. It is built over time, and we have to be very specific about what we study, where we study from, and exactly, how we are revising it. If we don't solve the mocks, we are just reading the NCRT and we feel like we'll go and give and we perform well on the day of the examination. That is not the case. I think that is something that we have to see, focusing on the high weightage topics in every subject.
Right. Thank you for this advice, Shaan. I'm telling you, this is going to help the future aspirants for sure. So, Shaan, thank you for today. 100 percentile in English that you have achieved. Many congratulations. Also for getting into such premier college, economics for economic honors at Kirori Mal. So we cannot wait to see what you achieve next in your life. All the very, very best, Shaan,
Thank you, sir.
for
Thank you
your
so
future
much.
endeavors.
Thank
Thank
you,
you very
sir.
much, Shaan.